of the game under my belt. Have not completed the game, but I am still going to give this thing a review. Uh, I got lots and lots to talk about here, so jump in the chat. Let's talk about it all together. But some of the notes, first things here, the biggest thing, potential. This game has a ton of potential, astronomical amounts. It's an open world Star Wars game. It's Grand Theft Auto in Star Wars. That's what it is. But it's not. Because it just falters on all the potential that it has. I don't understand why it happened the way it happened, but uh, I didn't have real high hopes in this game, but I had hope. And Star Wars: A New Hope, right? That's what it. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping, and it just got crushed. Like, it's really, really hard to swallow the fact that this game is not getting any more fun the more I play it. And I had to just be honest with myself. I had to just say, hey, you can't win them all. You gotta quit. Gotta stop. Not having fun anymore. It's very repetitive. Um, it just takes away so many possibilities and potential. Like, that's just one of the big focuses that I know I'm going to keep repeating myself on, because it's disheartening. It's very sad. It's like this game could have just landed and just speeder biked off. You know what I mean? And it didn't. It didn't even land. Like, I mean, this thing crashed. There's tons of bugs in it. I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, so I didn't have as many problems as what the PlayStation 5 owners were having, which is just a huge issue with, having to start the game completely over. The game, the pre-release for everybody who paid big money was just pointless now. You might as well just paid half the price, because you lost all your progress in that time frame because they forced you for a new save on the PS5. And I just really wish that they would have gave this game like another year to cook. I feel like if it would have got another year, we would have got things the way we expected. They weren't good, like, at all. And I'm telling you, I wanted to give this game so much hope. I went through a good amount of hell to even be able to play it through Ubisoft Plus, because the way Ubisoft Plus screwed me over the day that I tried to get it, which is a whole huge story I could say on its own, but let me just sum it up this way. My Ubisoft Plus account from decades ago, attached to my main Xbox account, lost the email for it. Like, completely, they shut my email down. So I can't use that account on that Xbox Live account because they're linked and they cannot be unlinked ever again. Ever. I'm screwed forever with this. So thanks, Ubisoft. So I literally had to make a new Xbox Live account that is specifically for Ubisoft Plus games now to play this game, because I was not going to pay full price after seeing enough, hearing enough, and knowing enough. There are people in the industry that I know I match up with the same likes and dislikes that were on point. They hit it. I thought, no way, right? For the big one is Greg Miller on Kind of Funny. He hit this game with a 4 out of 10, and I was like, come on, dude, that's bullshit. This game is not a 4 out of 10. It is not that bad of a game. Can't be, right? But just in the back of your mind, I'm just like, no, it's better than he thinks, right? He's just not enjoying something about it that's dragging his numbers down, right? It's like, if it's a 7, like everybody's given, this 7 heaven that everybody's been living in here lately with reviewing games. If it's a 7, okay. You know what? 7 games are a lot of fun. They have a little bit of problems, but they're a lot of fun. No, guys. Now here at Loud Thumbs, I grade on a 5-point scale. And this game would be, as much as I want to give it a 3, it's a 2, man. Like, it's just not a good game. It's not, it's not a one. It's not unplayable or terrible. Um, but the reason I drag it down one more notch because three is where I was thinking I would land. But as I put more and more hours into the game, and I started doing more and more side quests, and I did plenty of other things in the game besides story to just see. Maybe just the story part's the part that isn't the greatest part, and the other parts of the world they spend a little bit more time on, which I know is backwards. I know that's backwards. And no, nope, that's not how it was. It was legit exactly that. It's just none of it is fun. That's harsh. Okay, not none, but a lot of it is just rinse and repeat, and you just feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall because it just loses steam so quickly, and then it just continually downfalls the more you start to try to understand the story. It's just a bunch of like backstabbing and back and forth with reputation and the different factions that you have to deal with and everything, which that's no another big deal. But um, the fact that it lost its steam and it continued to lose its steam is why it drug it down from a 3 to a 2 to me. Now that's out of 5, so that's still a failure. Um, Maybe I'll start grading on a 10-point scale and going with point fives in there, but I don't know. It went. If I were grading on a 10-point scale, this game would be I'd match Greg. It's a 4. Like it's a failure of a game for me because it didn't keep my attention. It didn't continue to keep me, you know, pleased or having fun or wanting to do other things because just parts of it weren't exciting and fun and Star Wars like, but other parts were. It didn't even have that. Like a lot of it just did not feel like Star Wars. The speeder bike does not feel good to drive. It should feel really fast when you're on it, and it does not feel fast. I mean, we've all, if you're watching this and you're a Star Wars fan, we've all seen, and Jedi, right? So we know how fast these speeder bikes are. That's how fast it should feel riding this thing, and it's not. And the other ones cruising around the world are even slower than you are. And it's like, what's going on, guys? What are you guys doing? This makes no sense. So the speeder bike's pretty much garbage to play around on. The slightest little bumps into anything will just send you flying. Usually going to happen with enemies around, and then you're going to start getting into fights with them, and then you're going to have to keep yourself from dying. And it's really rough. This game is very rough around the edges. When you look at it, I think I described it to a friend of mine that it's like a car on the internet that looks awesome until you go and see it in person. And when you see it in person, you're like, oh gosh, there's a lot of problems with this thing. Like there's scratches everywhere, there's dents, the tires are bald, all that's going on. That's how I felt when I was playing this game. And then you kind of get into photo mode, and you're like, oh, maybe it looks prettier, and you think, nope, it doesn't. The photo mode does not make this game look any prettier. It doesn't add any fun. It just adds, it highlights in a bad way. It's like it's like putting a little chapstick on your cold sores. It just makes them shine, and nobody wants to see those things. So it's a rough game, definitely. Again, say it again. It needed more time to bake. They should have made this maybe like an early 25 game, or like a mid late winter game or something like that. I don't know. It just definitely needed more time. I do know that. Now, I've said this before on several of my other, videos, but I like Star Wars. I'm a fan of Star Wars, but I'm not like a fanatic. I'm the audience for this. Like, give me the game that's like, hey, go check out new stuff. You don't care about all these, big lore pieces and all the other facts of the games and the story. You just want to go play a Star Wars game and live in the Star Wars world, and that's what I was doing. But it didn't feel like Star Wars. That's what killed me. I was in this world that should have felt exactly like Star Wars. I should have felt like Han Solo because I am the exact same type of character as a Han Solo, and it doesn't. And that's going to lead me into talking a little bit about the characters now. Kay Vess, cool name. I'll give you that. Cool name. cool character, looking character. You know, she fits. You know, I like her '80s vibe she's going with. They kind of brought that back with the movies and stuff. But let me tell you, I don't care what people are saying. This voice actress, just everything just falls flat for me. The banter back and forth, none of it seemed funny. None of it seemed poignant. You know, like I really wasn't listening to what she was saying a lot of the times. It's just like, okay, it's just a lot of this is just pointless. And I don't know if there's been comparisons out there or not with her and Aloy, but I would have to assume there is. And for me, I'm gonna compare her to Aloy a little bit, and the fact that Aloy didn't have anybody around and would talk bothered people. That didn't bother me because what she was saying was internal thoughts, and they made sense, and they were like thought out sort of dialogue that you listened to. Like you're like, okay, she's saying something. She's serious enough a character that I want to listen to her, right? And I was hoping for that with KVS in this game, and it just does not happen. She just kind of blabbers, and when she gets into conversation, she tries to like be cool, but then fails at being cool. Kind of like how how a middle schooler wants to hang out with the high schoolers, and they might pretend to be cool, but they fail at it, and you're like, come on, get out of here. You know, we don't want to mess with you, right? That's how she comes across to me, like just very flat on her deliveries, and yeah, I was really disappointed in that too. I mean, it was just stacking on disappointments, one after the other, and I the main character obviously Kay, and then her other character droid that's with her is called ND5, and the letter N, the letter D, 5, right? And she and him have like back and forth. But he is such a dry character that he is just not fun in any fashion to listen to. Um, he just seems really, really mean all the time. And I mean, he's a dick. Like 99% of the time, he's a dick. Like when she shows up and she's like, "Hey, how's it going, ND5?" He's like, "Hi." Like I mean, that's literally how he is. Um, it just, you know, his responses to things are just like, "Okay." That I mean, it's like a Karen droid. Like that's what it is. Like he just acts like a Karen all the time, and it's very frustrating because it could have been a cool factor, you know. And if they build him up to a cool factor, hey, let me know in the comments. Maybe he gets cooler, and maybe I should jump back in and play it before my Ubisoft Plus runs out. But I didn't see it happen. Like he was with the other guy that ends up trying to build your team and all that. And to continue on that with building the team, what a chore that shit is. I think it should feel more natural. I think there should be like a Mass Effect feel to it. You know, you can kind of pick and choose your crew, or they just slowly just kind of work their way into the story. No, every one of them is like a chore core. The chore core is like a term for you got to go do a bunch of things before you can get them. You can't just like have them join you and then you go do a couple missions together and then you find out you guys like each other and you work well together and let's go do a team thing together now, right? No, it's like, this guy's been abducted. Now you got to go get him. Then you go get him. And when you get there, you find out that he's been abducted because he did X, Y, and Z. And now you have to get back the things that he did to give to the people who's abducted him. And then to do that, you have to do a stealth mission. And then you get that stuff back. And then you go give it back to him. And then they release him. And then now he wants you to do 2 more things before he can leave with you on the planet or off the planet on your ship. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, just let me meet someone, let us walk, do a mission, have a little banter, build some characters, and then let us do a mission together. Let me save him from whatever, or her from whatever, and then we move on. Well, now we're on the ship together to get out of here. Let's do it. So that really sucked. Building a team should be fun. And this had all the potentials of letting me build a team like a Guardians team or like, hey, a Star Wars team, God forbid, right? So, there's no Luke, there's no Han, there's no Leia, there's no Chewie, there's nothing. I mean, there is the one Crimson Dawn character from Solo, which is played by Amelia Clark. She's in this game. And Jabba the Hutt. And I'll be honest, I didn't even make it to meet Jabba. I did a bunch of shit for the dude, but I never actually saw him. And it's like, you're not giving us those those pieces we need from the Star Wars universe that keeps us connected. Like, I want to stay connected to the universe of Star Wars. And what was I getting? Nothing. Like, oh, there's a 3PO unit. Okay. Okay, there's an R2 unit. Okay. That was it. They're not the characters, you know, they're just fucking droids walking around, and they look like the characters in the movies, and that's it. And it's like, okay, you got to keep me connected and build. Instead, like, this just feels like a completely detached world in Star Wars that you're supposed to pretend is somehow connected. And there were no big surprise moments or anything cool. A couple of good things. I will mention a couple good things because they do exist. Believe it or not, there are a couple. Um, there are a couple cool set pieces. I mean, there's one that really reminded me of the beginning of. I'm gonna space the newest one. It'd be the what, the seventh movie. Um, oh man, Star Wars. Yeah, like I told you, I'm a fan, but I'm not a fanatic. I can't even tell you what the freaking name of it is right now because I'm spacing. But Force Unleashed. No, that's a video game. I'm just gonna sit here until I come up with it. Star Wars. Well, I can see everything. I can see the poster. Han, dies in it. All that good stuff. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. It is Force Awakens. That's what it's called. It's called The Force Awakens. So there is a big piece like with Rey when she's climbing and she's junking the ships to get food, to get money, credits. Excuse me. There's a cool piece like that where you do something similar in a ship, like a fallen ship that you get to do that with. I enjoyed that part of it. But I'm gonna sandwich it with a negative. The climbing and the mechanics in this. You're pressing. I'm playing on Xbox, so you're pressing A all the time. This should be done like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Horizon. Pick a game you climb in. Pick any game you climb in. Any other game does it better than this, because literally every time you get to something you could jump at, you have to press A. No, that shit should just happen. Like, I know where she's going. I can see the yellow sticky paint, right? Because we all know that yellow paint is sticky in video games. That's how you climb on it, right? So it's like, just let me press to, left or right, and she just grabs the next piece, and then let me go up, and she just grabs the next piece. Nope. And there was no jumping fast. There was no like, oh, hey, I want to go up this wall quicker, so let me like tap A to jump up the wall faster. Nope, that didn't work. You had to press A to get on the wall, and then press A to get off the wall after you reach to the top. So it was just a lot of click, 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 because and it didn't always work. There were times where it would like select at the end of a jump, you would need to go up and grab the last thing, and for some reason, don't know why, you're pressing up and left, and it would go right and down, and you just go right back to where you were. And it's like, oh my god, come on, you got to be kidding me. Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Stealth, far too much stealth in this game. I don't mind me a stealth game when it's done right. I don't think stealth belongs this much in a Star Wars title. Period. Like, see the eyes? Period. Because guess what? They don't stealth a whole lot in Star Wars. When you run into an enemy in Star Wars, you fucking shoot. It's blast or die, right? That's just what it is. And no, she had to hide all the fucking time. No matter how much you upgraded your weapon, you had to hide. You had to hide. And I mean, I unlocked enough things to try to get Nyx to help, or different abilities to help, and make the stealth a little bit easier. Nope. I literally had one point in time where it glitched to the point where Nyx, which is your little like lizardy type character, which he's a very cool character. They need to make like little statue or something to him. I would buy that. You can see I like statues, but he would have abilities during stealth that would really help. He could distract an enemy, or he could attack an enemy, or he could, like steal shit from him, that you could use. It was awesome. I was like, cool, this I like this mechanic. There's another like, guys. There's another like. Check it on the box. But the bitch of it was I'm playing through like one of the really hard spots. I'm in an Empire base, right? So I'm kind of fucked, and it just wouldn't work. Like it literally did not work. I had to shut the console down and restart the whole console before that would come back again. Thankfully, it didn't like fuck up my save or nothing, but I was able to reload it, and then the abilities worked again. But just like in the middle of trying to do a stealth mission that you're, I don't know, 20 plus minutes in, maybe sometimes, I had to start over, completely over, back to your save to begin with, because you can't save in the middle of missions. So I'm like, come on, that's just ridiculous. So, but there anyway, there is just too much stealth. Literally, I would say 8 out of 10 missions in this game are stealth. Is that much? I'm not even kidding. The stuff that you get into where you can stealth or you can shoot and fire and whatever, it was definitely less frustrating to just go through and just kill everybody. But then you know what happens when you do that? Your reputation goes to dog shit in whatever sanctum or area you're in, which is the next thing I want to talk about. It's like a morality type system, right? So you have 4 factions. I can only ever remember 3 of them: Crimson Dawn, the Hutts, and the Pikes. The 4th one I can't remember right now. I don't know. I know that they were one that I didn't deal with very often, but there's 4 settings to them, or 4 rankings of good to bad, right? And bad is the bad one. That's the bottom one, right? And then it goes to poor, and then it goes to good, and then it goes to something else. I don't know what it is because I hated this system. I was in good most of the time with the Hutts and the Crimson Dawn. So I was like, cool. This is working out all right. I was kind of playing both sides of the coin for a while. And then they give you, these choices. They're like, no, you got to go this way or you got to go this way. And no matter what, you're going to fuck one of them over. That's just how the game plays it. There's no choice to not do either or do a third thing to, say like, no, it's okay. I'm going to go fuck over a different one, Like, nope, you have to mess up either one of these. All right, fine, I guess I'll do this one. And it'll go just from good. Like, it might, if you're real high in the good, it might come down to like low in the good. So you're still all right. You can still visit their areas and, no big deals. But most of the time, it's going to go from that into poor or bad. And when it's in poor and you go visit, let's just use the Hutts. You go visit the Hutts section of the game and you need to do missions in there that are like side missions or even maybe main missions. Well, guess what? It's going to be a lot harder because now you have to stealth all of it, because as soon as one of the enemies sees you, you get caught and then they kick you out and you have to start it all over. Now, they don't kill you and you don't lose anything, your save or whatever like that. So that's okay. That's a plus. But it's ridiculous. This works great on paper. Thinking about it, it's like, oh, it's a cool morality system. If you screw this up or that up, whatever, you're an outlaw or whatever, right? Okay, if I was an outlaw, then I could also kill every motherfucker in there, and it wouldn't matter. That's what an outlaw does, right? I'm out for me. That's it. Fuck the law. That's an outlaw. No, you had to follow law. You had to follow rules of these Pikes and these Crimson Dawns and everything they'd say and do and whatnot. And it's like, no, like, I want to be an outlaw. I want to be a character as if I'm in Grand Theft Auto, where I make the rules and you pay me the money or the credits, right? And it just didn't happen. It was just super annoying that there's all this potential to just let us play in the world no matter what. And they took it away. They kept it PG-13, I think, was part of the reason for this. The morality system didn't even make me feel like cooler or like give me drive to want to go and do that more often. It was just very irritating that constantly I had to be thinking about these people and their feelings and what am I going to do. And for example, if like you needed to get into one of them and you wanted to make it easy on yourself and you didn't want to deal with like stealthing everywhere, then you would need to go out and do more chores to go find information and data to sell, which you just basically give it away to that faction so that it would raise you from like bad, poor, or whatever to good at least, so you could visit their areas without any qualms or setbacks or having to stealth everywhere. So I think you guys see what I'm saying here. Like there was a lot of just constrictive things put into this game that made it feel less open and less fun of an environment to play in. It was super annoying. And I mean, really, honestly, super sad, disappointing, big time. Um, so one of the things I have here about the morality system is um, why when I kill everyone at a hut base does that reflect negatively when nobody there is alive to report who did it? Nobody knows I did that shit. It's immediate. Like it should just be cut off. We're talking like a game. Okay, so I'm gonna just use Grand Theft Auto because I love GTA. Top game of mine, right? Top three. In Grand Theft Auto 5, if you did something in front of somebody and somebody saw it, they would call on their cell phone to the cops. Okay, totally fair. If I didn't kill you before you made a phone call, you got me, right? This game has the same situation. There'll be like a little alarm come above their head, and they'll be like either getting ready to call in backup or whatever, but it would fill up. And if you got rid of them before it filled up, you win. You win the game, right? You're dead. I'm alive. Well, I'm good. You're bad, right? No, no, it didn't matter. Like you can kill everybody in stealth mode, and you're fine. Now, this is fucked up. Listen, this is the fucked up part. Kill everybody in stealth. Go by, knock them out, right? Maybe they're not dead, right? They don't want you to think they're dead. But anyway, you take them all out, right? They wake up. They don't know who did any of it, right? Because they didn't see your face. But if you kill everyone, they can't talk, right? And nobody's going to tell them what you looked like, right? But you end up with bad marks on your reputation because you were. They called it so many different things. Sorry, my brain is blanking here tonight, guys. But it's like, one of them was like I think roughing or something like that, and the other one was probably also like killing or something. But it was like they did not like that, and there would be like a red arrow pop up on the right hand or left hand side of the screen. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. I cleared out the whole base. Everybody's dead. You can't say that I did anything because you're dead. You can't talk. Can't do it. Maybe they're like the movie Barbed Wire. Maybe they have that kind of technology in Star Wars. They just never introduced it to us in this game, where they can just read your dead brain and see like your memories. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's a deep cut. But check out Barbed Wire with Pam Anderson. It was a good one, especially if you're like 15. So, okay, a couple more good things. So the world is large. It is a very big map. You can go to multiple planets. That's the coolest part of the game. Right there that is the coolest part of the game. The fact that it does do what Starfield said it was gonna do, and it couldn't, which is one shot off the planet. There you go, flying in the air. Oh, I'm in space now. It all happens within, I would say, 30 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds. You can tell it's done like for a load screen. I don't care. It still seems like it's seamless. I'm now in space. I didn't have to watch a bar fill up, right? So, cool. I like that. Good job on that one. Keep that in the next game. Maybe make the load time faster. Maybe seem like we get to space quicker. But that's it. That's cool. Once I was in space, dogfighting was okay. I liked the lock-on they had. The lock-on was cool. It helped a lot in battles. Flying was all right. I could have used some controller tweaks. You couldn't really tweak a lot of it in accessibility stuff on what I was playing. But that's about it. I mean, you blow up stuff in the space, and you could retrieve like parts and materials and things. You'd get people like hollering and they needed help and stuff. You would go help them. A lot like Starfield, but it was cooler. Like, I didn't need to do a bunch of shit to my ship. I just got in it and I flew. It all worked. I had a crew with me, but it wasn't enough. Now, you could visit other planets and things. I think I visited 3 planets, playing. And you go into your hyperspeed, and that all looks cool too, and it's like pretty much instant too. It's also like another 20-30 second deal. So yeah, the space stuff, landing on a planet was seamless, all of that was cool. That part they did all right with, so I'll give them that. I do like Nyx. Nyx was a cool character. He's my favorite part of the game. He doesn't say a word. He's just super cute. He was very useful. His mechanics worked when there wasn't that glitch happening. Um, so yeah, but my overall thoughts on this game again are just right back to it that the loss of potential. Hoping that this is a good step forward, but Ubisoft, I don't know. I think they've screwed up too many times now, and this one had so many people watching it, and then it fell too. Like when you fuck up and like you fall and you smack your head or something, and you look around and see if anybody saw you. And you're like, whew, nobody was around, right? You're good. You can get up, walk away, keep your head high. Everybody saw this one, right? Everybody saw this one. Like watching with like bated breath, man. Like this game's gonna be badass. It's gonna be Grand Theft Auto in space and Star Wars characters and yeah, I'm gonna meet Chewie and I'm gonna run into C-3PO and some of the lower key characters, right? The ones that aren't the biggest ones, the ones that they don't need voice actors for and shit, right? You're gonna see them. You're gonna get references of them. It's gonna be like I'm in the Star Wars world in a galaxy far, far away, and it wasn't. It was just lost. And that was, oh man, talk about a huge mess. But Ubisoft fell flat on their face on this one. They've been seeing the stocks have gone to shit. They dropped like 14%, 13.5 or something. That's a lot when you're talking about billions of dollars. It's kind of scary. I don't know if this game is going to get any more sequels. I think this game, and not any more sequels. It's not even going to get a sequel. I think this game is the last of its kind. I do. I think it came out. I think it failed so hard. From the people who brought us to the division, who could have easily pulled this off, it failed hard. So the sheer fact that it happened so bad is really kind of the nail in the coffin. I'm just gonna put it into the universe and just you guys tell me in the comments what you think. But I think it's stick a fork in it. Star Wars open world has never happened. The first try was this, which partially succeeded. The concept is there. It's like a proof of concept. That's kind of where it is, like just talking about it and thinking it through right now, it's like a proof of concept that, hey, yeah, the game, it works. It can happen. But we should have let it cook longer, right? It's still pretty doughy and gross in the middle. I don't think anybody wants to go in there. But don't nibble on the edges and the crumbs, right? And I've had enough of that. I had enough of that for sure. Maybe if they could let Star Wars and Rockstar come together and we get a badass, rebel, some kind of let me kill everything, be the evil guy, get us the first, maybe the first. You guys tell me, has there ever been a mature rated content? Ever been? For Star Wars? I don't know. I would like to know though. But I think Grand Theft Auto, I think Rockstar, letting us be some kind of a rebel outlaw, be on the dark side, doing all the shady shit that we never really see when it comes to Star Wars. At least I don't. I mean, I don't read the comics and things like that, so maybe they exist there. But that's an idea. But this game has handcuffs on. It has been cuffed. Arms and feet have been cuffed. And it just can't run. And it can't swing. It can't fight for itself. It's rough. And I'm super sad about it. It's like every game that I've got pumped about that has been on like my most hyped game for the year. Some terrible shit has happened, guys. So you could probably blame me if you want, because my last one was Suicide Squad, and we all know what happened to that one. And I never even played that, bought it, nothing. I listened to enough people talk about it. I knew when I saw they were bringing it, what delayed it 4 months or something like that, and I saw when it came back it was no different. Still a live service game. Sorry, I'm out. Can't do it. I've had enough. But yeah, and this was my hyped game of 24. Yeah. Suicide Squad was my hyped game of 23. 24 was Outlaws. Hopefully Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't suck, because that's my fucking one for 2025, if it makes the year. But yeah, if GTA 6 sucks, well then yeah, it's definitely me. It's definitely me, guys. You can all point the finger at Indiana Man over here. But yeah. So this game, Star Wars Outlaws, wait, super holiday sale it, pay $20 and get Ubisoft Plus, and play it on your Xbox or PC and see if it works. By the way, Ubisoft Plus does not work on PS5. Just a PSA there for everybody. It is only PC and Xbox. And the Xbox is a pain in the ass to get your games on it right now. You have to download them from your phone. Like, tell your phone, use your phone to tell your Xbox to download the game, and then you can play the game through Ubisoft Plus. You can't download them directly on the console right now. Another pro tip, PSA for everybody. Hopefully you stuck around for this one, and you got those final couple tips. Save you a bunch of fucking headache, because I had a bunch of fucking headache trying to get this game to download, install, and any of it. The next one I am going to try, because I still have Ubisoft Plus, and I still want to see it, and I've heard it's gorgeous, Avatar. So I am going to try Frontiers of Tomorrow and see what I think of it. I've heard plenty of bad things about it as well, but not near as many as this one. But it's also not a Star Wars game, and we all know how Star Wars is very beloved. It's much more beloved than Avatar. Yes, I know. I enjoy both of them. I do enjoy Star Wars more, but they live in two different pieces of my brain. They don't overlap in any fashion for me. Two different completely style kind of games and movies and genre. But yeah, super sad that this is how it came out for me. I really wanted to sit down here and be like, yo, you guys are missing out. You're just playing it on the wrong console. Jump to the Xbox and play there. The PS5 people are the ones who are getting fucked over right now. Oddly enough, that would have been where I bought it if I didn't Ubisoft Plus it, and realized it didn't work on there. So then I jumped back over to my Xbox to play it. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I got a dozen hours or so in it, and that's kind of where it lands. I don't have a name for my scale. It's just it's a 2. It's a 2 out of 5, and it's sad. Maybe that's what a 2 out of 5 is. Sad, you know. It's not terrible. It's not awful, but it's not good. I feel like a 3 out of 5, if I named it, would be good. And then there'd be like great, and then there'd be like, you know, epic or something. But yeah, 3 out of 5. It does not get from me, because when you can't do Star Wars right in a Star Wars game, it doesn't have to be a lightsaber, but it has to feel like I'm in Star Wars. And I've said many things as to why, but one of the biggest ones is that fucking speeder. That speeder is just not fun to drive, and you have to use it all the time, because the world is so big and there is no other way around. You can fast travel, but you can only fast travel to certain points. So you're still using the fucking speeder. It can't take a turn to save its life. You're going to crash all the fucking time on it. And then the other major thing is that the world doesn't feel like Star Wars. And then the last nail in the coffin is just the characters. Like, so many people have just been talking, and I've listened to podcasts and read stuff, and they think Kay Vess is such a good character, and she fits the world great, and this, that, and the other. No, she looks like she fits the world great. She does not fit the world great. She's just super naive. She does not fit her age. She does not fit the mentality you expect to get from an outlaw. You know, none of it. Like, she should be hardened by this point in her life, especially with everything that she's said to have gone through and dealt with. And she's just kind of like this, oh, hey, okay, sorry, yeah. You know, kind of that attitude, and I dislike that, because it just does not feel fitting for a character that's supposed to be doing what she's gonna do or wants to do, right? Yeah, no, doesn't work. It's like, you know, you kind of, like, I'm still talking about the game, right? Still talking about the game. But I love Guardians of the Galaxy. And Peter Quill, he kind of has that attitude, right? He kind of has that kind of daffy, like, you know, just going out and finding me some girls, and, you know, I'm going to go get this treasure thing, and I got the orb now, and I'm not going to tell Yondu, and, you know, that kind of stuff. difference there, he's smart. Like, he knows to do the things. Like, he goes in and does these things alone. And then when he gets into a jam, he gets himself out of the jam alone. And that all happens right at the beginning of the first movie. So you've got an established character that, like, okay, he can be a badass when he needs to be a badass. He can be a goofball when he needs to be a goofball. I like this guy. Yeah, he's got character. Right there, those two things, the character were great. And then you learn that he's like this great team leader. That's what I wanted here. I wanted her to be able to be serious and a badass, and I wanted her to be able to be a goofball when she needed to be, have fun with Nix and play around with her little pup guy there, and her puppy lizard or whatever he is. And I didn't get that. And then I didn't get the moments to see that she's a great team leader. She was just like there for the ride. Like, I'll fly the ship and I'll do the missions, but you guys just tell me what to do. That's how the game feels. It's sad. That's what it is. It's too sad. That's it. That's my thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws. I wanted to come on here and talk about it live. This is just easier to do it. I'm just going to give you this kind of stuff raw, guys. You know, I'm going to raw dog it on the old loud thumbs. You know, but I'm not going to cut and edit this sort of shit. You're just going to get all of it all at once. That is what it is. And I want to know your guys' thoughts and comments down there in the old chat. Let me know what you guys think of Star Wars Outlaws, and what games are you looking forward to playing next. I told you I'm gonna touch in on Avatar. I don't know when, 100% when, because tomorrow, all you gamers, all you watching, Astrobot, all you PS5 owners, you better be playing that game. That game will be mine. I will be doing the pre-install tonight, and I am super excited to play that game. It's getting rave reviews, and I don't even care. I wouldn't care if that game got a 2. I would be playing it because Playroom was amazing. So let me know what you guys are playing, what you guys are enjoying, and what do you want to hear about next? What do you guys want to talk about here on Loud Thumbs Entertainment? Let me know. Catch you guys later. Peace. I'm out.